Hey, this is Ian. I'm the head pro here at EssentialTennis.com. Today I'm going to show you how to use the same singles tactics, strategies, and patterns of play that the pros do so you can win twice as many singles matches and have more fun on the court. You're about to see some powerful step-by-step coaching taken right from the court of one of our VIP clinics in California. But that's not all. If you stick around to the end of this video, I'm also going to have a free gift for you, our Singles Action Plan download. And it's going to reveal what you should be doing during your time on the practice court to immediately make your singles matches more successful and more fun. It's 100% free, and at the end of this video, you're going to get immediate access to it. But first, I'm going to show you the strategies and tactics that the most successful singles players use on your local courts and even on TV. Let's dive right in and discover how to control a critical element to your success: ground stroke, height, and depth. There's three elements that go into hitting the ball at any given depth. There is the angle of the racket face at contact, there's the direction of your overall swing, and that affects the height. So the height is critical. The speed at which you swing is critical, the amount of force that you hit through the ball. You can hit a ball 10 feet over the net that lands very short, or a ball 10 feet over the net that hits the back fence. So the force is critical. And then being able to control spin is important as well. Top spin will make the ball come down sooner. Slice will make the ball float further and travel farther. And at different points throughout today, we're going to work on how to control all those different things. For now, we're going to focus on the height and the pace part of it. And so we're going to do some experiments. Ira, can you hit some balls for me, please? Yep. He's going to drop to his forehand side, make a forehand swing, and his target's going to be a shot that goes 5 feet over the net and lands in the middle of no man's land. So roughly halfway between the service line and the baseline. So Ira, let's see you execute that, please. It's a little bit high and a little deep. So he's going to adjust his racket face, and there it is right there. Let's see like one or two more there. Nice shot. Nice shot, good. Now, if I was to ask Ira, all right, Ira, now I want you to hit the same spot on the court, but I'd like the ball to be 10 feet over the net. What could he adjust to make that happen? Yep, he could open the racket a bit to make it go higher in the air. And what's the other main element that we talked about earlier? Yeah, the direction of swing. Also, if he hits 10 feet over the net, but with a lot of force, then the ball will not hit the depth that he wants. It'll end up going quite a bit farther than... Ira, hit 10 feet over the net with a lot of force, please.
I don't want to lose it.
All right, good. I mean, I don't care. You can send it out there. Let's see. No, never mind. I was going to let Ira have some fun, but we won't do that right now. So that was probably even a little bit low, but it was still way too far, way beyond our target. So now, Ira, let's see 10 feet over the net and in the court, halfway in between service line and the baseline. All right, a little deeper than you wanted, so he's going to adjust. That's just about right there. Let's see one more of those. Nice. Nice. So first one went too far. He adjusted the pace of his swing, kept the height in the same ballpark, but totally different depth. And so these are the little elements of control that we want to train you guys to be able to have. Because depending on the scenario, Ira, let's see one more. Let's see 1 foot over the net and the same target. So a little lower, that's the right depth. There we go, there it is. Let's see one more like that. Yep. So depending on the scenario, if you only have one flavor of forehand, you only have one flavor of backhand, you'll be completely pigeonholed as far as what type of opponent you can beat. But if you, with the same shot, if you're able to hit all kind of different heights, all kind of different depths, we'll talk about width after this, but we're not going to get into it right now, then now you have the ability to respond to all kinds of different opponents and be able to kind of solve the puzzle of how to beat different styles of player. Now our students take to the court and practice executing their ground strokes with specific height and depth outcomes in mind. We call these experiments because it's so important to feel free to try different things and see what happens to the resulting shots. Here's some attempts at that low, deep ball that Ira was demonstrating. Yep, yeah, go for it. So his face has to be a lot more closed than that, Karen. There, that's in the ballpark. Got to close the face more, Margot. All three of those too high.
We're looking for just 1 foot above
1 foot, 1 foot. So less than a racket's height over the top of the net. Close it more. There you go, Margot. That's it. That's it. And now let's drive it through the court a little bit stronger so it goes well past the service line. That's it, Karen. What do you mean you can't drive the ball?
I've never done it on purpose.
All right, well, congrats. Congrats. Last two, your face is just a little bit too open. Okay. Close the racket face, Karen. There you go. Controlling the width or direction of your ground strokes is just as important as controlling the height and the depth. That's why in the next part of our clinic, we focused on how to differentiate between hitting the ball down the line, cross court, and inside out. It's critical to understand that the ball's flight is always a mirror image of what the racket was doing as contact was made. Anybody know how long contact takes, incidentally?
3 seconds. Like a fraction of a second.
3 seconds?
1/3 of a second.
1/3 of a second?
Maybe that's what it is. Some kind of fraction.
Between 2 and 4 thousandths of a second.
Oh.
2 to 4 milliseconds is how long the ball is actually touching. In that split second moment of time, where the strings are facing is by far the biggest determining factor when it comes to where the ball goes. The direction that your racket is moving overall also, has a big effect, but I could swing, my overall direction of swing could be headed towards cross court, and in that moment as I make contact, if my strings are facing that way, the ball's still gonna go that way. I don't care what my stance is, I don't care how much I turn my body, I don't care what the direction of my swing is, if my racket is facing that way, the ball is going to go that way. Those other factors will have a slight add a slight variation on how the ball flies. It might add some extra spin, may leak, a little in one direction or the other, but the biggest factor by far is where the strings are facing. So, it stands to reason then that if I want to make the ball go cross court, I need to figure out how to make my forehand ground stroke swing, as an example, line up with the ball so that as the ball touches my strings are facing that direction. And the biggest element that controls that is the timing of your swing. If you guys were to kind of float up above me and watch in slow motion as I made a forehand swing, as my racket starts to move forwards, the tip of my racket is pointed back towards the back fence. And as I finish my swing, my tip of the racket again is pointed towards the back fence. That means my racket has traced a full circle around my body. And depending on when I make contact, as the racket is moving around me in a circle, the ball could go anywhere from hitting Carla to hitting down the line to hitting cross court to hitting that fence over there. Obviously those are extreme, situations, but my racket is facing all those different things as it travels around my body. So when you start your swing is the most critical variable when it comes to controlling where the ball goes. Does that make sense? If I begin my forward swing a little bit sooner relative to where the ball is, then contact gets made further out in front. The further out in front my racket is when I make contact, the more of an angle my shot will have. The longer I wait, the further back contact is made relative to when the ball is traveling into my strike zone, and so the straighter the ball goes. If I wait even longer than that, then the angle starts going this way, and that's how I can hit inside out, back the opposite direction from my backhand side. Most players have a hard time wrapping their heads around the early and late concept and how it relates to the direction of the shot that you hit. So I gave a quick visual example of how that works. So if me and another lefty are both hitting forehands cross court, and I hit a forehand that lands there, then was I early with my swing or was I late with my swing? Right, I started a little bit too soon, contact was a little too far out in front, and so my strings were angled a little further. So the next time I get a ball from my partner, I would be reminding myself of when I began my swing on the previous shot relative to where the ball is to my body, and I'd wait a little longer to begin my forward swing. If I was aiming cross court and I hit that alley, that would be a little bit late. And so on the next swing, I need to begin my swing a little bit earlier. And those are kind of extreme misses. If I miss my target by a foot or 3 feet, that's essentially, a make. If I miss my target by 6 feet, then we're talking a small fraction of a second difference between, it's probably a degree or two of angle with the racket face to make up that 5 foot or 6 foot difference in where the ball goes. If you master control of your ground stroke height, depth, and direction, then you'll instantly start winning more singles matches. That's why we've created a step-by-step plan for you to follow the very next time that you step out onto the court to practice, so you can focus on the right things and improve much faster than you thought possible. You can get instant access to our special Singles Action Plan PDF right now, just as I promised at the beginning of this video. Simply click the link down below to get immediate access to the download. All you have to do is let us know where to send it. Or if you'd like, you can go to www.singlesactionplan.com to grab the exact same resource. Lastly, do me a favor, and after you get your singles action plan, come back to this video and leave a comment letting me know how your results are coming. If this video and the action plan were helpful to you, then please give this video a like, and as always, be sure to subscribe to our Essential Tennis YouTube channel, because we have tons of new coaching coming out very soon, and you're not going to want to miss out on any of it if you're serious about improving your game. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.